So here's where I think stuff with a build like this gets interesting. For equipment, right? The skill on these is not that great, right? So the question is am I going to do better with a boost on successive attacks here than I am with the skill? And that's really what a big chunk of this comes down to, right? So weapon throwing attacks, great, right? That should be increasing what this does, right? So let's see. If I pick something, I'm not going to do any buffs. Come on, there's got to be something here. Oh, I heard it. All right, skeleton. So 117, 118. Okay. Yeah, this isn't going to be a good place to test this. I will have to come back here. I need a better test bed. So we're gonna go. You know, we should go. Actually, is the shelf. Stuff here has a lot more hit points, and I won't have the problem of like one attack killing something. Oh, and he's got glowing eyes. All right. So 150. He didn't even get up. That's crazy. All right. Oh. Oh, hold on. 372. Oh, that was a bleed hit. All right. So if we put this back on, what was that? 150 and 372, I think, right? Is it 157? It's just not much. And then 157 just wasn't very much. You know what I mean? Is that right? 158? It just doesn't seem like that's a big increase. It's like 5% or something. Right? Is that really 157? I'm trying to figure out, like, is this... That means it's like a 5% increase, which is really low. I'm using the Smith Script Dagger. I'm using a blood version. I'm actually going to take blood off, although bleed is what I would eventually use with this, I'm sure. But it's what's happening is that I'm getting major extra... buildup. So I'm going to switch to arcane. I don't the blood buildup that's happening will throws off what I'm trying to test. Normally I would use it, but what I'm trying to do is test stuff, right? So wait, 169. 255. Oh, that's because I've got the other buffs on there. All right. Well, it gives me, I mean, it gives me something, like, to work on, or work off of. Right? For sure, the extra attack ones are worth having, but this thrown weapon one just seems kind of junky. Do this one more. Hold on. How much is it? I want him to be aware of me, right? Turn. 153. Nope, nope, nope. Come. 173. All right. Hey, come here. Hey, wake up. 139. 249. These numbers don't make any sense. Really, these numbers aren't really making a whole lot of sense to me. Am I... Well, let's do this. Here, I have just one, right? 297, 220, 397, 377, 350. What are cranking up these numbers? I don't understand. Is there something about thrown weapons that I don't understand? There's some weird thing that's going on. Which is something about the way that it works that isn't making any sense. $336 I get, right? He's an unaware. Right? So 428 I don't understand. 330... 350, 575. I went from hitting for 350 to hitting 275. I'm not understanding. Oh, maybe maybe it's because it's a sequence of attacks. $331, $324. Nope. Range? Oh, maybe it's range. Maybe it's how close they're getting. Maybe the damage it does just keeps increasing as they get closer. That's testable. So at what is reasonably long... Hold on, let me go back to two-handed. So it's what, long range? It was what, 180? Wait, did I just slide up a little bit? Oh, I did. Hold on. Max range. $282 or 180. Nope, 174. But then 5 something. This isn't making much sense. That's what I'm not. This is what I'm confused by. I'm trying to figure out why the amount that they hit for seems to be a really broad random range. I mean, it works, but how weird. I mean, I could understand if, like, random headshots were happening. Alright. Well, the problem is it makes it really hard to figure out, like, whether or not the thrown weapon attack is worth using. Let's get the one that I wanted. Oh, I hate that rolling attack. I also get locked into that animation. Oh, hold on. So what's interesting is the successive attacks doesn't seem to be triggered by the skill, which I think is interesting. It's definitely triggered by... Oops. Yeah. Unfortunately, when it seems to queue up the attacks, because as soon as I see that guy come popping up, yeah, I'm testing this weapon out. I was trying to get some rhyme or reason about how it behaves, but I don't seem to be able to do that. If I hit with one attack, let me see. At short range, it's like 373, 249, but then 310 and I'm further away, you know what I mean? Now, I have hit multiple times buffs, but I'm not getting the buffs for it. That's the part that I'm not really understanding. Right, so there's the buffs for multiple hits. And it seems like stuff doesn't even notice that I've been hitting it. See, so he gets up after the first hit, but then another guy, like that guy's not even getting up yet. You know what I mean? It's weird. The weapon, I mean, if it does, I'm unaware of it. That's the thing. It's not... I don't think it's in the... Let me read the weapon description. Maybe there's something in there, because there are effects that are... hold on. Inventory. Reduced mass enhances the effects of smithing arts. Once thrown, the dagger instantly reappears in the wielder's hand, incompatible with Ashes of War that grant skills with an affinity. Wait, what? Employ smithing arts to conjure multiple copies of the armament in both hands. Okay. Throw them all at once. Oh, that's scattershot throw. Follow up with an additional input to throw again. But this says incompatible with Ashes of War that grants skills with an affinity. But don't all these grant an affinity? And I can pick... Like, what does spinning weapon do for this? Does it literally do, like, spinning weapon then? It does. It's literally... Okay. Alright. So scatter shot throw is the one that I want. It's kind of interesting. Ugh, no way. Too slow. Whole point is speed. Yeah, it's going to be scattershot throw. I mean, that fits the whole thing. So, let us... Let's see.
Where did he flee, my sweetings? Come out from whence ye hide. There are books. Ah, is it the to become?
Oh, you know what would be interesting? This would be an interesting build with Frenzied Flame. Let's try that. Alright. We're gonna do Frenzied Flame. Hold on, I gotta... Hold on.
Be not alarmed. I would but
We're gonna do Frenzied Flame. Okay, we're gonna want the daggers. I'm still gonna want blood. For sure. So for that, Dex. And Frenzied Flame, it won't care if I have Faith or Int, but it's an Int-based build. Dex is the big one. Blood causes it to be Arcane-based. Interesting, interesting. Alright, so we know it's Dex. But... Hold on. If we're going to do Frenzied Flame again... That's really weird. That the Frenzied Flame seal is faith-based. But... Hold on. is faith. Okay, it is a faith-based, not int. All right, any of these need int, arcane, faith. So it's arcane and faith. Arcane and faith. Hold on, let me. Okay, that's int faith. Actually, the sentry torch is something I carry for other reasons. Okay, armor-wise... Is there any... Hey, nice ghost. You can finally use that two-handed golden axe if you get to, what's it, 30 strength, I think? Now, the... Okay.
Art thou? Now, bit.
Alright. Still want to do 60. Still want to do 45. I'm not sure that we're going to want the endurance all the way up there, but for the moment, I'm going to pretend like I do. Alright, dex instead of strength. So the catch here is, if I want to keep using Moors and Fingerprint Shield, that actually has to be... I only need this to 75 because I have the item I'm going to wear that'll get it up to 80. Oh, yeah. I'm just going to have to deal with a low int, I think. Hold on. It's the axe that drops off of that horse, right, the horseman, right when you start the game. You know that guy that's riding back and forth right when you walk out when you first start? He drops it. I think it's 30 strength. now. Oh, I forgot to transfer. $285, $388. Yeah, this is not my weapon. 326. Oh, it's because of the arcane. It's kind of crazy to me that the... Okay, alright. That the Dragon Communion seal, because of the arcane, is still my strongest. Yeah. It's interesting, though. I guess it's because it's B and S. Neat. Alright, fair enough. Let's see. So, that covers those. The horn bow is no longer a particularly valuable bow. Because my int is not particularly high. What is my int? There are better bows, like the black bow. The black bow acts like a short bow, even though it's not. Wait, what's this? Poison-infused arrows. Alright, let's empower that. Alright, for the heavy bows... What are we talking about? Alright. Yeah, great bows. Doesn't really matter. It's interesting that crossbows don't have attribute scaling. I never knew that. Okay, weapons. So, Crazy Town has Vikes. Oh, Rivers of Blood. That's funny. So I'm just looking for any of these. I don't think I want to play with that. Ripple Blade. No thanks. Alright, where are my spears? Okay, so there should be a... Vikes. So some of these I already have jacked up. Vikes being one of them. Hold on, let me put you there. Where's Vikes? There we go. Still at medium load, which is good. Now, oh, spells. So now we do a complete spell. What's my... yeah. But I have... I'm level 443 or something. So my... I have Arcane, Faith. Dexterity is effectively 80 because I'm using an item that raises it. Endurance is as high as I can get it so that I can keep using very heavy armor. And then Vigor and Mind are sort of at the end of their efficiency lines. You can... I've talked about this on my feed before, but anything above 45 Mind is a very minimal advantage unless you use talismans to increase the value of your flask. So... if you carry around 10 charges of FP flask, and each charge gives you, say, 500 FP, or each charge gives you, say, 200 FP, or 225. Let's do 200 for easy numbers. Well, I have 268 FP, right? So if I spend my bar down so there's nothing left, I get 268. And then I have 10 flask charges at 200 each. So that's 2,000 plus 268. So I have 2,268. If I pulled my mind down so that my FP was 200, over the entire set of all my flasks, I would have the 2,000 for the 10 flasks plus the 200 I started with. So that's 2,200. So the extra FP to go from 200 to 268 is only worth 68. It's not worth 68 times my number of flasks. If my FP was 100, and I jack it up to 150, every single point I put in there is also an additional point from a flask, because the flask is going to refill that point. But once you get FP past your flask filling point, you never gain that back unless you hit your flask again. And then it's wasted on the second hit unless it is enough to fill it twice. So you have 400 FP. So people will crank their FP up even higher, and there's not any reason to do that except for that initial FP boost. That's it. It's worth For the entirety of your FP plus flask usage, it's only worth, in my case, 68 points. So keep that in mind. Now, it may be 220 instead of 268, or 220 instead of 200. That actually makes your FP going up worse. The moment that your FP exceeds the size of your flask, you're dead in the water. Or it is the largest diminishing return of any stat in the normal range. Now, there are things to consider beyond that. If the spell that you're using costs, let's say you have an FP of 200, and the spell that you're using costs 101, then you can only cast it once, and you don't have enough to cast it a second time without eating a potion, which will be wasted, except you get one more spell cast. In that case, getting your FP up so you can get one more spell cast has some value. But you got to keep that in mind. But number one, going FP above about 42 is an extreme diminishing return. Anyway. Let's see. So what crazy, silly stuff was I going to do? Oh, spells. That's what I was going to do. Does Howl and Golden Vow stack? I know what the rule is, I just don't remember what type each of those is. Alright, Howl is a body. And Golden Vow is an aura. So they stack. So those are the two spells that I want. Okay. I know what I want. So I'm going to want regen. Golden Vow. Howl. Laser. I'm probably not going to stick with these, but I want to experiment a little bit too. Alright. Okay, now I need to do a little bit of testing. $232, $285, $235, $248. I don't understand it, the randomness of the damage. It's so weird. All right. Oh, I don't have... Hold on. I forgot something. So if I know that I'm going to be doing Frenzied Flame stuff, that means that I'm going to have Madness build up, like, all the time. And there's a DLC talisman for that. All right, let's just... All right. So I have to do a separate test now. Not that any of this is terribly useful, but... $397, $291. All right. Now, if instead we use Madness. Not sure. Seems like that's the same amount. It's the same thing. I don't know. Because the damage is not reliable. Because the damage is unreliable, I don't know if it's... whether or not it does better. It's irritating. Like any other weapon that I have, I know that it works better, right? So, here. I'll put out, like, Spear. With Madness build up. $783. Alright. With the Madness build up. Without the Madness build up. Hold on. $783. What? Oh, it's probably not with Madness buildup. Ugh. Well, that's no good. Alright. So far as I can tell, that's a completely useless talisman. Alright, good to know. So forget madness, because apparently it does nothing. At least it does nothing for me. Or next time I'll try it with a madness talisman on. $772. Oh, interesting. Okay, so see... Watch my buff bar. There, see, I just got a buff. That's the madness buildup increase. That's crazy. It's a decent increase, but driving myself to madness in order to get it is... yeah, that's dumb. So, I know that there's a range fall off. I just didn't think that the range fall off was that short. And even that seems to be questionable. Where it is. I mean, I tried being at maximum range, throwing a weapon and hitting something, and then walking right up to it and hitting something. And sometimes it was the same, sometimes it wasn't. That's why I'm confused. Alright, so that's no good. So now the next question is this one. What I'm really hoping to test is, what I really want to know is the thrown weapons, right? Because that's what I'm really trying to compare it to. Is, does it make more sense? So, like this guy, right? As it stands right now, so 291, right? 356. 356. I don't know where that range drop off is. $297. 357. I guess the range fall off is just really short. Alright. Still iffy on that one. I think you're right, but like I did testing in a different spot and it was really dubious. So if we go with 355, see, I was right next to the guy and that was only 355. And there's 356 again, right? And that's two. Range is crazy. Alright, well, that's something. Oh, what I need, though... that's funny. Hold on. Alright. I needed full health for one of my buffs. So 285. Hal. 156. So now we're going to go to the thrown weapon increase here. That's what I'm really trying to test. $355. So it seems like the thrown weapon and the full health are the same. Does that sound right? Let me... Hold on. Again, something I can... There's an aspect to this that I can actually look up. Ooh. I don't know what the heck that is. Actually, I do know what that is. Okay. I find the F extra life is the poop when it comes to this stuff. Let's see. According to this, 10%. Okay. This should be 20%, but the problem is that's if you are like currently hit by madness, right? And that means I have to actually give myself madness. It's not enough to have madness build up. You have to actually have madness for that to trigger. Okay. All right. So the other one is in, what did we say? It was 10%. So the other one is in shadow. All right. 10%. Yeah. So if it's between the full health and the throne will always give me 10% regardless. This is 20%. That's actually pretty damn big. Okay, that's good to know. I wondered about this, the Vertigious Discus. You have to be at heavy load. It's not just that you have weight, you have to be at heavy load. Good to know. Okay, all right. I saw what I needed to see. Need to use the full health one for this build. It's really a question of do I want to have the health regen from that? So the secondary thing is, well, not really secondary. So now the question is, I should be in range. So with just the buffs that I have, $13.99. Ah, trees can get in the way. $13.06. All right, so yeah, it's the Dragon Communion is definitely a bigger hit. The range on this is so crazy. 154. Jeez. All right, let's see. So, all right, I think this is viable. I think this is a very viable build, personally. I am intrigued. Now, having said that, I have both of those. Yeah. All right.
Now.
Sell. Everybody, prepare to have your feelings hurt. Sorry, not sorry. More axes. Purchase. Let's see. What do we need a lot more of? Nope, nope, nope. Oh, I can always use more crack crystal. Holy cow. That had to be a lot. Toxic for sure. Nothing left to buy. All my runes are gone. Hey, JC. Thank you. Wait. Jeez, that looks like light load rolling. The heck? It's not, but it seemed like it. All right. Now begin journey 11. Bye. So we're gonna get our first taste of this. This is gonna get crazy. See what happens. This build is gross. Seriously. This build is gross. I want those butterflies, damn it. I never figure out how to get them. Oh, there's my water. Oh, there is one other thing. Yeah, so I will try this build, this Throne Madness. There's my name for it. I will play this Throne Madness build as long as I can tolerate where it sucks. That's usually what happens. I'll get to a boss that just like utterly destroys the build that I have, and I just quickly put on gear that's some other, that matches. Like, this could easily shift immediately over to lightning. Although that's not my goal. I'm so tempted to kill this guy, but I need him to get to the shelf.
Come to the... Of course you... Unfortunately, without God, you are fake. Me. Are you familiar? You may also... That... It will lead, even if it... To castle, the home... It will castle, if you...
Alright. Oh, there was one other thing that I wanted to check. So, in my physic, what... I think stamina regen actually makes the most sense now. Break stance. Oh. Oh. Grants attacks HP restoring effect in a mixed... This could be really interesting. Huh. Alright, I may consider that later. Now, what's it like when I summon this guy? So, we're gonna go... Oh, I don't do that. Here? Nope, here. Sorry, this is gonna take a second for me to get used to the action with the fingers. What I find interesting is that... Oh, crap, that guy hits hard. Well, that and I've taken a ton of damage. So, okay, so here's what I just learned. Besides the fact that I don't ever want to let anything hit me. The skill attack is not triggering my talismans. And that's good to know. That the skill doesn't trigger the talismans.
But I can also that you're not then wine. I am Carly. I am selling where the land is only, let's say. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, that's interesting. So, Here, watch. Of course, it's gonna kill this guy. Watch my buff bar, right? Oh. Well, that's interesting. Oh, I guess. Okay. You have to watch the character, I guess. So I don't have the red sparklies going up and down, which is what will happen normally if you do the multiple attacks, right? The second hit should have done an initial trigger, and it's not. See how I'm not getting that extra trigger? Right? But now I will. See? I got it almost immediately. So skill attacks don't trigger that, which is actually good to know, because using skill attacks is a big piece of how this becomes effective. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Yes. So it is a category of weapon, of which there is only one weapon in the category, called throwing dagger. I'm gonna skip through all this as quickly as I can.
They sir, but you, I can play turning to aid you. You need to the foot. Then summon me. Ah, Torrent, treat him with...
So notice it's suddenly nighttime. It's actually a really good idea to go immediately back to the Church of Ella. If you forget to do this, you want to go somewhere that's not here,
May I have a word?
wait till nighttime, and then come back here.
A pleasure I am the wit. I'd heard
So you can talk to Rena.
Call forth. Ah, I was instructed by torrents to summon the spirits. Now it is that. I doubt we. How long will it be for the time?
So yeah, I'll pop up the... Yeah, it's the Smith Script Dagger, and the category is called Throwing Blade. Sorry, not Throwing Dagger, but Throwing Blade. And it's the only item in that category, it turns out. Let's go see about a knight.
Oi! You there? Could you help us out, Cully? What did you go and do? You were just thank you. I was pushed and I ended up. Oh, when they and so this is all I couldn't then. Rhyme.
You know what I need? Another Arteria leaf, which I have no clue what to do with. come on. There we go. Holy cow. Ooh. That guy hits for a lot. Well, that and I was using Howl, which increases my damage output, but also makes me take a lot more damage. This is kind of funny, actually. Let me go get this first. This little tiny room to fight in. Oh, there we go. There. There. Sure, we'll do some Howl. Let's go all out. Holy cow. Ouchie, ouchie. Yeah.
Why are you here? Ah, well, but one must. I was as a revive you still. Very well, but I refuse to anticipate.
Whoops. Oh, you know what else I forgot to do? This. Oops. Miranda. Yeah, I got everybody. Alright. What was your first playthrough? What did you do as the first thing? Is it KU? Hold on. So nutso. All right, let's see. Where was I going? I was going. To get butterflies. That's what I was going to do. Crazy. All right. Let's skip to the. All right. It is amusing me to kill trash, but let's skip ahead to the actual like story components. And is it KU? Kaui? Kaui? So, my first challenge run, which I thought was actually interesting, is you are only allowed to use things a knight would use. So you can only use a shield that is knight-like, and you can sort of kind of go with the whole, if something called a knight is using it, you can probably get away with that. Like Death Knight, Dark Knight, etc. You can only use weapons that a medieval knight would use, not just like name of creature, but think of a medieval knight, right? You can use armor that would be medieval knight, like a broadsword, any of the various long swords. You could use like spears and halberds and lances and etc. etc. Anything that would be something that would be fit within, like someone in the 1500s could have actually constructed it and made it useful. So colossal weapons are out, etc. And then you can only summon helpers, ashes, that are knights. So that's a pretty limited set of things that you can actually summon to help you. There's a bunch. But, you know, something like Dung Eater would be out. What's her name? Nephili Lu, I think, is okay, because she's basically like a human berserker, for lack of any other term, or human warrior. But then the set of knight-like summons. Now, some of them use weapons that wouldn't be realistic. I did not trouble myself with that consideration. And then you are allowed to use spells that would be knightly. So, golden vow would be like, Lord, I ask your strength and defense to make me better in battle, right? That would be like a knightly thing. Or, lay hands and heal, right? Like that. Or throw fire, right? You could have a bottle full of alcohol and, throw it and fire. So anything that would be medievally magic-y, but not, and poison would be okay, because poison, although that's not very knightly, it still is something that a medieval knight could theoretically use and be successful. She won't talk to me again.
Words, if you wish. Very well, my lord. With thine ye will well.
All right. Let's see. We can come over here and hit this now, since we're here. Now, oh, that was almost bad. Ha, I'm so toast. What did I say? I forgot that you get locked into an animation at the end of that spell. Oops. That's funny. Nope. Sorry. Ah! That's probably the easiest time I've ever fought that guy, actually. That's crazy. That's probably the easiest I've ever fought that guy. What's this?
Forgive me. To determine if you have... It seems torrent, whereas I'm in. There is, but I can take gathering.
Oh, round table hold.
Very well. Let my hand...
This is a crazy build, really. And I'm not even using the caster stuff that's associated with it.
I can't very well. It is set. You, a housekeeper, remember your... That...
Just get anyone to talk to in here.
The honor of... By the way, she's my servant. Take your eyes off if you find her.
I'm known as heed those who all the more. Unless you... all the more.
Welcome. I teach and explore so that one ensuring... By the way, you do most time you are... Well? May the Golden Order shine through you.
Now, I don't... She's not here yet, is she? No. Alright. Nope. Just checking who's here.
No matter how you're... I see nothing special. I'm trapped. That's all there... Well, no great. My being a... Besides, despite my deciding.
Alright. So I'm about out of time. But... let's see if we can't get at least a boss in. Crazy wolves. Yeah, 11. I've been playing with weird builds. This one is probably the weirdest so far.
But I don't have it's scared. I want to nothing. Can you tell? And it'll be glad. Oh, tell them I'm finally tell them I'm finally getting the hang of it.
Alright, there we go. I want to. I'm really curious about this build. I want to look at my. So all three of these require successive hits. So the thing that I have to get used to doing is triggering these with the non-skill hits, and then use the skill hit once I've triggered them. The problem is that the skill, for some reason, on this doesn't trigger these, which is a real bummer. Anyway. All right. So... Oh, this guy. I forgot how long this guy's ridiculous range is. So, skill.
Well, thou art of passing skill. Warrior blood must truly run in thy veins.
First playthrough build, Rock Sling. Is there any other build in the game? If someone wants to play the first 2/3 of the game with almost no substantial effort and learn almost nothing about the game, Rock Sling with a meteor staff. That thing will carry you. There's just no two ways about it. Some bosses will give you some trouble, but from a trash perspective, Rock Sling. I mean, it is still probably, in the first 2/3 of the game, the best spell, hands down. And you can get an absolutely insanely powerful staff to use it right at the beginning of the game. Add Uchi Katana as a main hand and the staff in an offhand, because you're only using the staff. So offhand is fine, put the katana main hand, and it's the best build, best basic build that you can do. You get the sword. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, I think that's probably the easiest build. Let me change the word. The easiest build is Rock Sling plus Ugi Katana. Which Godric? Sorry. the Oh, I don't have it on my map. The golden one? Or the one after the golden one? Oh, the what? Oh, that's not Godric. That's is that Godric the Grafted? Oh, I must have them confused. So that's the one at the other end of this castle. Okay, you kind of have two choices. The next mandatory boss is up here. You have to follow this area. So go through the castle. When you're done going through the castle, you'll pop out up here. You ride down like this. There'll be a merchant down here. Camp there. You'll follow this along. And eventually you'll get to here. Actually, well, you'll get to a gate entrance here that you can't get into. And there's going to be a message there that tells you, in a really roundabout way, to go here. This is where you want to go, and you'll find a key. And that's where the key is that will get you through this gate, which will then transport you to up here, which will put you into the academy. And that ultimately will lead you to the next mandatory boss. If you haven't done it yet, you can always go down here. And there's a boss in, which is Castle Morn. Yeah, down here. But you may have done that. after you beat this boss, you probably want to head up into this area, into this Karia Manor. And then you can decide whether you want to go up into this area up here and or here, or go play with Kaled, which ultimately you're going to want to be in this area, which you get to through... which one is it? Oh, through here, Redmane Castle. Down through here. This is the boss that will open up the world beneath, which I can't see right now, because I haven't done it yet either. Or I haven't been down there yet.
You there? Come over here. It's tightly. Oh, the guard you breached. Your type. The guard you'll slip. Yeah, you're just the kind of type.
Sorry, I was thinking Godfrey, which was incorrect. Oh, he hit me, bastard. Alright, so this is kind of a funny thing. I learned this on a distant previous playthrough. If you have these already, you can actually drop a glowstone in here. And obviously you can put a lantern on. But you can effectively defeat the thing that's going to attack you. Mr. Darko. Oh, I love the long range.
Ah, the pleasure's I'm looking when I'm not hot but enough about this place. Not exactly. You can see. Well, I'm tiny, but still, I'm privy to. Would you care to learn as a fellow?
Now, where did this guy go? There he is. That was kind of a cool little move. Huh. Neat. Now I don't have to deal with that guy later. Doggies? Yep. Nope. Phoenix Veil. Love it. This is so crazy. Oh. Come on in. Thanks for the healing. God, this is so crazy. Oh no! I'm in a crossfire. I forgot to put a heal spell on. Ooh. Alright, good to know. Oh, nope. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah. Let's not keep playing with that. I need to fix my spells. I screwed up. Which is a bummer. Yeah. Let's go a different route. I didn't fix my spells.
Be proud. Well, tarnished, I am I'm hereby decree how utter this graft is tainted the... If I ask you, the winds run far. I'm certain for...
Boom. Oh, you little bastard. All right. That seems weird. It's like a provable thing. It's like, why would people argue about stuff like that? Well, I can think of other incredibly stupid things people argue about. Okay, so... It's funny as I can summon Nephililu twice. And I'm going to, because that act amuses me on this fight. Nephililu wants to help. I'll have two. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Alright. So... We're going to do this. Whoops. Going to do this. We're 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 going to do this. And they're going to do this. Come on. There it is. One more.
I am the Lord of all that is golden. And one day, we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
Alright, I need to grab lunch. So, I made it to this boss. I'm gonna camp here. And we will jump back in next time. This build is fun so far. I'm gonna have to go through it. And what came first, 3 or 1? That's lack of critical thinking skills. I loved it. I don't know if you remember when people were asking, if you're going 50 miles an hour and you drive for 1 hour, how far do you go? And they don't know the answer. And I asked my, at the time, like 7-year-old kid, like, if you're going 50 miles an hour and you drive for 1 hour, how far do you go? And they're like, 50. And I said, or they said 50 miles. And I said, a lot of people don't seem to understand that. And they were just like, really? It's just kid's 7. And they understood that. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you all for being here. It's awesome fun. I always enjoy all the little gifties and the follows and the likes and all that. It's always awesome. I appreciate you for doing it, and I will stream again. We'll see what happens. Times are busy, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, have an awesome new year and be awesome yourself.